Hello everyone, my name is Riff, my name is Zero, you can call me Riff Zero Chin Chan, and today I'm trying to get a little bit into the Halloween vibe, you can say, even though it's almost the end of this month, but I decided to do or give my 2 cents in this one-shot short story compilation, Be Afraid of Kanako Inuki. In my last manga haul, I expressed how much I was looking forward to this short story itself, since the back made a pretty strong statement. Japan's Queen of Horror manga returns. So I was pretty excited because I'm always looking for a good horror. So, well, now it's time for me to give you my thoughts about this one. Is it horror? Is it not horror? Well, let's start with that. I don't think this is horror or comes close to be horror. I'm sorry, I'm just saying the truth here. But reading this, I felt like it was more funny and kind of a slice of life with a little bit of a dark twist to it, but not really horror, to be honest. So that's the first thing. Do I consider it horror or not? And the answer is not. I don't consider this horror. Now that that is out of the way, I'm gonna be giving you my 2 cents in every story, telling you which one I thought they were fun, interesting, engaging, which were the worst, which one the best, which one I do recommend, and lastly, I will tell you pretty much if you should pick this up or not. So yeah, let's start out with the first story. One fun fact that I noticed, I told you that this was like the index here. This was like the index, but I realized that number one, number two, and number three, all those three are a single story and is the last story. So that was pretty confusing because I was at the end of the, like, I was getting into the before the last story, you can say. I recall that I didn't saw any of these three characters in the first story, so I thought that index was quite confusing. But yeah, I will leave those three for last since it's the last story, and I will start for the one that came first, pretty much. Okay, so the first story goes by the name of Presence. I thought this was pretty unique. No horror, didn't scare me. I mean, it can scare someone that has a fear of getting old and that stuff, but pretty much, it, summarizing it, it's about two kids or two girls that had the birthday the same month, but one of them bullied the other. So at the time that the two were celebrating their birthday in class, one of them didn't receive gifts thanks to this kid. Let me just show you the imaginary so you don't get bored. Just me talking about it. Like, this girl didn't receive any gifts because this was this one was kind of a bully. So she received the gifts every year that they celebrated together. So time passes, and now that one kid that received gifts, it gets sold and all that stuff, and the other one, it's still young. Why? Because she didn't receive any gifts. Boom. That's pretty much the scary factor there. It getting old and that stuff. I don't think it's creepy. I felt with all of these stories pretty much pretty sad for some of the protagonists because most of them were based like in bully aspects, you can say. Moving to the second one, really quick. Don't want to bore anyone. Oh, another fun thing is that she starts putting her top five favorite herb here, for example. So you can get that little thing, that like that fun fact about Kanako Inuki. Okay, this next one goes by the name of Bukita-kun, Lolita. So pretty much this story takes us to this girl. She's a 5-year-old believe it or not. And this kid is kind of a mad scientist, you can say. So pretty much this story, it's more like something that leaves you a message rather than makes you scared and stuff like that. So that girl is a 5-year-old, like I was telling you. So she wants to grow older and grow quick. And that's something that Kanako Inuki has his stories based on, in getting old, in grow quickly, and that stuff. This guy with the glasses that you saw makes her grow older, but it doesn't stop. So that's the scare factor on that one, that she grows old and she doesn't stop growing old, and you know what happens. But her personality doesn't develop, so they're sad pretty much. Nothing to it, nothing surprising. They're pretty basic and they have like the same pattern to them. Let's move into the third one, of course, really quick. This one, I felt like it was the most entertaining one, with other that I will show later on. Big Sister Sasori, as you can see here, or Big Sis Sasori here. Oh, she also gives us a little note on what inspired every one of those stories, but same pattern pretty much. The big sister bullies her young sister. Unfortunately, when they get Christmas presents, the big sister breaks the young sister Christmas gifts. So this year, the young sister, this is getting so complicated, but yeah, the young sister wishes for something that the big sister can break or bullet her with, pretty much. So she ends up receiving a doll, but the doll is modeled like her big sister Sasori. And every time she pulls something about from the doll or does something, the big sister feels it. So it's pretty much a voodoo doll, you can say, in simple terms. I thought this was pretty interesting, and the ending was pretty unique as well. It's one of the ones that I caught my interest the most, but it doesn't feel like horror either. It's more like suspense type of thing, but nothing else. Let's move into the next story really quick. The next one, and is the one that wasn't that surprising to me. It was the haunted examination room. So pretty much we got this girl that is an introvert, shy girl, and she goes to a psychiatrist, I believe, psychologist type of thing, and she says that she has an ideal type of man that she fell in love with, but she doesn't know his face, his features, or how he looks like. At the end, it's pretty meh. You have to read it, because if I tell you what happens, I'm gonna spoil it. But with this one, she based herself also like in a legend, I believe so. It was unique, kind of gruesome at the end, but nothing out of the ordinary. Here a little spoiler about that one, if you don't mind it. I don't think you will mind it because it's kind of out of context, but it's fine. Next one is Fulfill Wishes, and I thought this was one of the best, you can say, from the whole short story compilation. At the pair of Pixie Sasori, those two were the kind of the best for me. So yeah, Fulfill Wishes is about a princess that is blind, and everybody around her is telling her, "Oh, you're so beautiful! How beautiful you are, princess! You're beautiful!" And she doesn't believe it, so she goes to the library, and the librarian, like that word, librarian, librarian. I'm butchering that, but I'm gonna put that word here. So she asks her, uh, "Do you have a book that will make my wishes come true?" And her, the person in charge of the books, her book about the demon that will grant her a wish, and her wish, of course, is be able to see if if what the other people around her of how beautiful she is true. And well, when she gains her vision, goes down. I'm not going to spoil it. It's a pretty nice twist. Like I was telling you, one of the best stories in the whole compilation type of thing. But it goes places. Do recommend that one for sure. And the last one is the mysterious Tatari-chan. Tatari-chan? Tatari-chan. However you want to call it. This one was not gonna lie, it was meh. I was expecting a lot since three of the characters were in the index at the beginning, like I was showing you before. But it was pretty amazed about this girl that it was again bully. You see the pattern here. So this girl was bully, and everybody pointed fingers at her, bullied her. Then someone, like a friend, came to defend her and gave the others like a punishment, a divine punishment, you can say. It was pretty dumb, but that's how it ended pretty much. Let me do a rundown through all of this. I do recommend Big Sis Sasori and Fulfilled Wishes. The others are pretty meh. If you are collecting your horror, be welcome. But if this is your first horror, go back, abort mission. This is not for a good horror for starters or beginners. The drawings were pretty nice. Like Kanako tells us in her interview after notes that she created her own style to be distinguished. The same thing that Rumiko Takahashi does, Shushoshimi does. They have like their unique style. So even though the stories can be quite similar to others, will be able to distinguish them. So that was pretty interesting. The interview tells us how she grew up and all of that. But overall, this is not that great. Maybe she will have other good words, but this is not a good short story compilation horror type of thing for someone that is getting into horror. It's more for someone that wants to collect it, like I was telling you before. So yeah, the cover is a little deceiving. It's beautiful, as you can see, and it gives that creepy vibe, but inside they're just bully stories, fantasy stories, it's like everyday stories. That's pretty much what you're gonna find here. And yeah, I guess that will be pretty much it for my 2 cents and rambling. Let me know what are your thoughts about it. I have heard good and bad things for this one. Hopefully she gets more stuff licensed, like very good stuff if she has any, because I really want to see why is she the queen of horror of manga in Japan. I'm still waiting for that and the reason for that title. But besides that, pretty average stuff. I did like the drawings though. So yeah, that would be it. If you like it, stick around by subscribing. Also, like, and all that stuff. Yeah, recommend me something horror related to read during this month. I don't know what else to say. Recommend me anything besides Junji Ito. Bye bye.